student, today's activity is we'll differentiate between true solution, suspension and colloid. This is true solution. In the previous video we have done a mixture of water plus salt. It forms a true solution. And this is soil plus water. This is suspension. And this is milk plus water. It is a colloid. Now what is the difference between them? Now very first one is particles of the salt are not visible with the naked eyes. We cannot see the particle. So particle size is very small. Now here when I am mixing it, the particle size is clearly visible with the naked eyes. Have a look with the naked eyes, and after some time it will settle. So the particles are suspended. Okay, so it's a heterogeneous mixture and this is known as suspension. Now the third is milk plus water. As I told you in the previous lecture that it appears homogeneous because its particle size is between these two. Okay, and another thing is it appears homogeneous but actually it is heterogeneous. When we observe it under powerful microscope, then the particles are visible with the eyes. With the under the microscope, the particles are visible. But here it is clearly visible with the naked eyes. Here it is not at all. Even with the powerful microscope also it is not visible. Okay, so we require more powerful. And if I'll filter it, there will be no residue. If I'll filter, there will be residue. And here also some amount of residue. It will not pass through the filter paper. It requires parchment paper. Okay, now the another one is the Tyndall effect. Now what is Tyndall effect? For that first I'll show you with the help of activity. Tyndall effect is the scattering of beam of light. Now look at the light pass through this milk solution. It is going inside, and inside the particle size is big and it scatters and it appears milky. So the light is appearing here. Here there is scattering of light. If I'll place the paper here, I'll observe that there is no light is passing through it. So this scattering of beam of light is known as Tyndall effect, and this scattering is there in the particles inside the milk. Okay, now same way if I'll do the Tyndall effect here, now just see the light pass through it. Some amount of light is visible here on the paper. So light is passed through. The reason is here some of the lighter particles are suspended. So sometimes even the suspension also show Tyndall effect. It all depends upon the size of the fine particles. Okay. Now if I'll mix it, then still chances are there it will show some amount of Tyndall effect. But if it is settled, then it is not showing Tyndall effect. Now this is true solution. If I'll allow, now look at the paper. Light is passed through it. Okay. So this is not showing Tyndall effect. Light passed through. No scattering. No scattering of light through the through this solution. Okay. So this is the true solution, suspension and colloid. Okay. Now we'll move on to the white.
Go.
Okay, now quickly revise the difference between solution, suspension and colloid. I have written all the keywords. Now solution is homogeneous, suspension is heterogeneous, colloid appears homogeneous but it is heterogeneous. Now here in the solution the composition is uniform. In the suspension non-uniform composition. And here the composition appears uniform, but actually if you will observe it under microscope, powerful microscope, then you will observe it is non-uniform. Now here the particle size is less than 10 raised to the power minus 7 centimeter. That's why it is not visible to us. Now here suspension, it is greater than 10 raised to the power minus 5 centimeter, and colloid 10 raised to the power minus 7 to 10 raised to the power minus 5. Now particles are not visible with the naked eyes. There is no Tyndall effect, and the example as I told you, salt plus water. Here the particles are clearly visible with the naked eyes. It is not showing Tyndall effect. The example is sand plus water. While in case of colloid, not, the particles are not visible with the naked eyes, but it shows Tyndall effect, milk plus water. So that is the only difference between the colloid and the true solution. Both appear homogeneous, but if we'll do the testing with the help of torch, colloid will show Tyndall effect, that is scattering of beam of light, and the true solution is not showing Tyndall effect. So that's all for today.